In the quaint little town of Greenpoke, where gardens were immaculate and every mailbox was whimsically unique, an uproarious event slowly took root, stirring the neighbours of Luscious Lane into a tizzy, unexpected for such a generally serene nook. It all began on a sunny Tuesday when Mildred Beamish, a retired librarian and an enthusiast of exotic plants, decided to host the first ever Greenpoke Garden Gala. Her pride and joy, a particularly plump and prickly cactus named Winston, was to be the centerpiece of the event. Invitations flew like seasoned sparrows into every mailbox on Luscious Lane. Among the recipients was Tim Tumbler, a freelance magician who was notoriously known for his chaotic performances. If something could go wrong, it would, frequently at Tim's hand. Nevertheless, Tim's heart was in the right place, a detail which often redeemed his clumsy nature. On the day of the gala, the residents paraded to Mildred's backyard, where decorations swayed and tables bore an abundance of fresh appetizers. Winston the cactus was placed atop a pedestal, crowned with a tiny, sparkling hat Mildred had humorously placed on its peak. Tim arrived with his pet rabbit, Mopsy, a recent addition who assisted him in his magic tricks. Feeling rather innovative, Tim decided the Garden Gala presented the perfect occasion to debut their latest spectacle: the vanishing vegetation. Unfortunately, his directions to Mopsy were slightly miscalculated. As Mildred and her guests sipped on fizzy lemonade, marveling at the assortment of flowers, Tim cleared his throat. "Ladies and gentlemen," he announced grandly, waving his glitter-coated wand, "you are about to witness a never-before-seen magic trick." The audience clapped politely but warily. The reputation of Tim's tricks had not been inspiring confidence lately. Tim pointed his wand at a potted fern, whispering the magic words, but Mopsy, distracted by the shiny hat on Winston, lunged toward the cactus instead. In a fluffle of confusion, both Winston and Mopsy disappeared with a puff, leaving behind only the tiny sparkling hat floating down to land softly on the grass. There was a moment of stunned silence. Tim froze, his face the picture of bewilderment. "Ta-da!" he attempted feebly. Mildred, however, burst into incredulous laughter, soon followed by the rest of the guests. Where others might have seen a disaster, Mildred saw the anomaly as the highlight of her event. "It seems," Tim joked weakly, catching on to the mirth around him, "that Mopsy prefers botanical assistants." The laughter swelled, but so did their curiosity about the fate of Winston and Mopsy. After a tense 10 minutes that felt like 10 years, Mopsy reappeared amidst the crowd, nibbling nonchalantly on a carrot stick someone had dropped. Winston, however, was nowhere to be seen. Tim, now somewhat of a hero for providing such unexpected entertainment, promised a grand search. The gala concluded with a spontaneous Find Winston scavenger hunt. The neighbours scoured flower beds, peeked under garden gnomes, and even checked the branches of trees. Just as the sun began to set, little Tommy Tuck, the 7-year-old budding detective of Luscious Lane, triumphantly held up Winston, who was found wearing his tiny sparkling hat, hidden behind the garden shed all along. As the neighbours cheered, Mildred, with a twinkle in her eye, declared the first Greenpoke Garden Gala a roaring success, thanks to a spiky cactus and a clumsy magician. Tim, relieved, took a solemn oath: no more vanishing acts during garden parties, or at least, not involving any prickly plants. And so, life on Luscious Lane returned to its peaceful routine, albeit with a touch more laughter and a new story to add to the annals of their community gatherings, forever remembered as the Great Cacti Caper.